I'm just gonna call out the elephant in the room here. If you are still relying on referrals to stay in business, it is because nobody wants what you're selling. And if they did, you wouldn't be waiting on your next word of mouth miracle. You'd have people finding you, inquiring, and paying for your high ticket offers because they already know that you're the one. You're not running a business, you're just living on leftovers. And I would know because I did that same thing for years. And this is why I record these videos. I'm Hannah, I'm the CEO of Dream Life Consulting, where we help coaches, consultants, and experts get an additional 3 to 10 high ticket clients every single month using our systems for lead generation and sales. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact mindset shift that helped me go from taking orders on the internet to an industry expert making 100K per month consistently and growing. By the way, if you are appreciating this content and you want to learn more about my journey of building a 7-figure brand, then please subscribe and let me know in the comments what questions and problems you have, because I would love to keep sharing what's working for us so that you can keep applying our insights and go get results for yourself. All right, let's dive into the shifts. Okay, so the first thing that you should know is that I used to live and die by referrals. When I left my past job, all I wanted to do was copywriting because I just wanted to help people get their brand awareness out there. And I remember even telling my coach at the time, I don't want to have to do ROI writing. I don't care if this makes money. I don't care if it converts. I don't really care what the business side of things is. I just want to write cute copy and build personal brands and help people with the front end part of their marketing. I just wanted to get out there and help people who were overwhelmed in 2017 with stuff like this, right? Documenting their journey and that influencer lifestyle. I thought I just want to make that easier for them. And so I'm just going to be the copywriting girl. And I also wanted to prove that I was an entrepreneur, right? After working for someone else, I thought I'm just gonna use my gifts and the skills that I've built and stay in my zone of genius, because copywriting had been something that I had done inside of another coach's company. And so I thought, I wanna be my own boss, and people like that I do this service inside of this other company. And so I wanna go out and do this on my own and stay in alignment and just do what I want to do. So I did my best with my clients. I got some done-for-you copywriting clients, and I started to build this little agency type of business. And I was super nice. I enrolled people basically just because they liked me. I wasn't saying I'm gonna convert clients or anything like that. I just had to kind of dazzle them with my charm or my sparkle. And so then I would also slash prices so they would like me and they would think, oh, Hannah's giving me a good deal. And then I would over deliver and bend over backwards because I really just wanted them to keep liking me, because I thought, well, if they keep liking me, then it won't matter if this doesn't convert or if this isn't necessarily connected to their revenue goals. So I was busy people pleasing in my new offer. And then for my own marketing, I was just emailing my list multiple times a week. Cute storytelling, personal life updates, things that I thought, oh, this will really help them, again, like me. And at some point, though, I was sending so many emails, it was like I'm just searching for pennies in the couch because I'm just spraying and praying, just like I was doing with other copywriting things. I was just kind of all over the place. So it kind of worked. I was able to trick myself into thinking I have clients, this is sustainable, they just keep falling out of the sky randomly. I guess that's gonna just keep happening for me, right? I'll just keep getting fed these referrals until one day that all dried up. And I found myself crying on the bathroom floor in so much personal debt and pain because I had felt like I had built something that was nice, that people liked, that was even helping my clients, but my clients kept quitting. I had to keep producing content. I had to keep showing up. I was putting so much into the business, but I wasn't getting anything back. Because yeah, I got a few random referrals and those word of mouth people here and there, but that was really only because I said yes to whatever they wanted me to do. Some months were busy. Some months were dry. And some months made me totally question if I should just go out and get a job, go back to working for someone else. I literally got to the point where I wasn't even paying myself anymore. I was in $75,000 of credit card debt. Unbelievably stressed about that day in and day out, and even struggling to buy groceries. Yes, it literally got that bad. And look, I was doing this because I had people giving me free business advice saying, Hannah, this is going to make you serious money one day. Just keep building your referrals. Just keep building your reputation. Just keep being a nice person. And one day, this is all going to pay off for you. But you definitely get what you pay for when it comes to free advice, right? I got that hindsight now. Because the alternative to just, waiting for clients to come to me or hoping that I'm going to get more contracts or the same client to re-up or have the same people who have sent me my last 3 clients, keep doing that. Well, if I'm going to set that down, then I look at my other options out here on the wonderful World Wide Web, and I see all this guru marketing advice and other UG-tastic strategies that don't make sense and I honestly don't want to do. I was so burnt out. The last thing I wanted to do was go do more podcasts when I'm spending my evenings crying on the bathroom floor. How was I going to show up sparkly or inspiring on more podcasts? Also, those don't convert consistently, so what was the point in doing that? Just another hopium strategy. Okay, the other things they tell you to do: hire some techie agency, take on a team. Look, I was doing that. I was running an agency model, so I had tons of overhead and money going out. But since I had said, I don't care if this converts, it wasn't. And so I was paying for the sake of paying, but not getting results or money in. Okay, well then run ads to a launch. Well, I don't have money for that, and a launch has never made sense to me because there's no proof of concept. Why would I launch something that's never been proven to convert before? I didn't have time, money, or energy to just be testing things. Okay, fine, host an event or a webinar. Again, I was not in the mood to be showing up live and giving away more free value because I had felt like all I had been doing was give, and it still wasn't supporting me in the way that I wanted it to. So, okay, just post more, win the algorithm game, dance on TikTok, figure out the next algorithm hack that's going to make some random video go viral, or do the painful work of publishing a book and then have to do a bunch of PR stunts to actually sell it. Okay, then the other thing I could have done is just go and pitch individuals one-on-one in the DMs and been like, just pay me and trust the process. I'm sure these are things that have happened to you or other people have told you, this is the strategy, just pitch podcasts, just run ads, just publish a book. But I've been in the game long enough to try all of these things and only get burnt out. None of these things had really brought me consistent results, so I was simply unwilling to try and do them again. So I get it. If you're still relying on referrals to grow your business, it's not because you're lazy, it's because you care. You care about relationships. You want to be trusted. You want your work to feel aligned. You don't want to pretend to show up when your battery is empty and you're resentful about things that have or haven't happened in your business. But just being helpful and giving a bunch of free value or showing up in people's inboxes with spammy content and freebies and quizzes that they don't want, or doing what I was doing, which was just praying, hoping, trying to manifest, that's not going to give you the client or the revenue stream that you want, and I just know because I have walked all of these paths myself. And so if I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be this: Hannah, if you want consistent income, sustainable growth, and those soul-aligned clients you journal about and you try to manifest all the time, that just come in and say yes, and they want to work with you, and they don't have objections, and you don't even have to hard sell them, Hannah, you have to stop acting like a coach and become the CEO you were always meant to be. I did not have that insight when I was in that rock bottom crying on the bathroom floor moment, but now I do, and so I'm giving it to you. Because now I like to call it moving from thinking like a nurse to becoming a specialist. And a couple of side notes on this, okay? Most of the women in my family are nurses or teachers, so I have nothing against the nursing profession, but there's a really important metaphor here. in that the role of a nurse is something we're going to unpack and look more at as a metaphor and as an analogy to what it actually takes to get the kind of consistency and respect that you're looking for, like a specialist commands. And I do have a 50-minute video that explains this part way more in depth, plus a bunch of other stuff that actually grew our business. And you can find that in the description below. But I just want to take the next few minutes to really give you a heart-to-heart, because the last thing I want is for you to stay stuck and struggling like I did. So I totally understand if you're not ready to make the jump, because it literally took me 2 years to finally get this whole CEO thing through my head. But if you want to move from barely scraping by and waiting on the universe to bring you a referral, then these are the 3 shifts you need to make to turn around and see massive cash injections. So this is a screenshot from when my business partner Ore and I enrolled $57,000 worth of new clients in just 15 days. And here you can see we cash collected almost 23K in those 15 days. And these are the kind of cash injections that I was praying for, but I thought that they were gonna come from being cute, being nice, doing what I wanted, slinging more copywriting offers, and just manifesting some referrals and a few clients to give me this kind of cash injection that I so desperately needed. So let's get down to it. Step number 1, you need to stop focusing on treatments and start aiming for transformations. So this nurse analogy. Okay, when you're thinking like a nurse, someone who does the bedside one-to-one care and support, you're thinking about how to treat your clients' symptoms. You know, the stuff that they feel, not necessarily the stuff they don't know that they need. So a nurse hears, oh, your back hurts? Here's a heating pad. Oh, you're tired? IV drip. Oh, you're sad? Okay, maybe we can get you into therapy. These literal Band-Aid solutions, because that's what a nurse giving bedside service is expected to do. And again, this is important work. Thank you, nurses. Thank you, frontline workers. But for coaches and transformational leaders, you don't actually own the outcome. You're just pushing along someone else's, right? Nurses aren't the people conducting the life-changing surgeries. They're just handing people Band-Aids after they have their life changed. And coaches are acting like nurses by doing similar things. So coaches say stuff like, I help you feel more aligned. I hold space for healing. I help with balance and joy. And I love that for you. I really do. Those are very important things that humanity definitely needs today. But we don't get them to humanity today because these fluffy offers simply don't sell. I have tried, and I wish it were not this way. I wish we could go out and sell your soul's blueprint and manifesting your, best life ever. But they definitely don't scale, right? You might be able to get a few people say, yes, I have gone through the same journey as you, Hannah. You're my person. You're the savant. I'm so glad I had a dream about you, and this whole magical thing, brings us here today. But that magic does not scale. And so if you're someone who wants to see 10K months, 20K months, 57K in 15 days, then this is the honest conversation that we need to be having. Because when I first launched my copywriting business, I told people I would help them find their voice. Very cute, right? Cute. But nobody wakes up thinking, today I just really need more voice in my brand. No, nobody is thinking that when they actually are running a business. They wake up thinking, I need more clients, I'm tired of launching and hearing crickets, why does nobody buy my stuff? And I was adamant I didn't care about any of that. I personally did not want to solve those problems for them. But if you want to stop relying on referrals and start attracting dream clients consistently, you have to dare to be bold and get behind a tangible transformation. I did not want to hear this either. I heard it from the bros, and I really thought, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna be the one cute girl who goes out and sells fluff. Find your voice, feel better about your marketing, have a feminine energy to your funnel, your marketing funnel. But again, those were not things that the mass market were actually gonna buy from me. So what we need to get behind is a dream outcome. And yes, this means you have to take a stand. And I'm gonna guess it's gonna make you uncomfortable because I kicked and screamed against my business partner, Ore, for months when he wanted me to get behind something tangible other than just, I help them find their voice. So it might not be perfect the first time you get behind something, but if you commit to selecting a dream outcome that the mass market is actually thinking about, that they do actually wake up worried about, it will finally give people something to say yes to. Not just yes to free value, not just yes to picking your brain, not just yes to some coffee date, but yes to investing high ticket. And this is gonna be a huge turning point for your business. Because when I did this, I started getting inbound inquiries, experts reaching out to me on LinkedIn saying, yes, tell me more about this. I appreciate you asking. I want to learn more, Hannah. I would love to have a convo with you and see what we can do this week or next. People were like chasing me down for sales calls. And even over the holidays, we enrolled high ticket, pay in full, committed people. And I just kept seeing these cash injections and these big numbers land in my business bank account and more people saying that they were interested. It felt like such an easy yes. And finally, clients were falling out of the sky, like the way I had always wanted to manifest them. But it was because I was finally getting behind something that they wanted. So the short of this is, don't be a nurse waiting to assist with someone else's cure. Instead, be that specialist who creates your own solution by getting behind a dream outcome and cutting out those fluffy joy, alignment, purpose, ease, feel good offers that just don't sell or scale. I have to just be radically honest with you. Again, I wish this were different, but when we look at the reality and we're in those rock bottom moments, which I don't need you to go cry on your bathroom floor, but these are the times that we finally become humble enough to look at what are we selling, and the reason why it's not converting is probably because you have not gotten behind a big enough dream outcome. So that leads me into the second shift here, which is don't wait for your market. Don't hope that they're gonna get it one day. Don't just trust their, spiritual journey will lead them to you, but bring the results to them directly. So if you personally are still saying stuff like, I just need more people like my last client. If I could just create more of that person, how do I do that? That's gonna be the solution to my business. Or I'll just do whatever people need right now. I'll bend over backwards. Okay, they want me to do one-on-one. They want me to do in person. Okay, I'll do it. And if you're saying, I'm open to whatever comes. As long as I'm helping, I'm in my zone of genius, I'm protecting my precious energy, I'm aligned, then okay, I'm open to whatever. Because you're not building a real business. You're self-sabotaging yourself and digging a hole in your comfort zone. You're not just staying in your comfort zone, which is where we know you stagnate and slowly start to die. Okay, if you're not growing, you're dying. Life is all about growth. So if you say these things, you're not just staying there, but you're digging a hole and you start arguing for your limitations. And I did this too. And so if you're tweaking your packages for every client call and you're writing 6 custom proposals per week to just, satisfy what you feel like doing, or just getting an easy yes from some client who has $500 available right now, and you're just dropping your prices to get a yes on anything, then you're chasing breadcrumbs instead of building a recipe. And that's the nurse energy that I'm talking about. Nurses take orders. They wait for someone to tell them what to do next. They wait for the market to tell them what to do. Oh, you need a Band-Aid? Okay, I'll go get one. But specialists lead. They don't wait for a client to say, I think I might need this, or I was thinking that we should try this. Instead, specialists, people who have real transformation, say, here's the exact result I help people achieve, and here's how to do it. Okay, come on into my heart surgery clinic. This is how surgery works. Not, I should go quick get you a syringe, and no. This is the shift between order taker to specialist. And one of our clients, Renee, is a really good example of this, because when she joined our program, she thought she wanted to help firefighters one-on-one with burnout coaching. Help firefighters manage their mental health better, basically. But she quickly realized that she was playing way too small, because we got her talking to about 10 firefighters thanks to our system. She booked 10 discovery calls with firefighters, but as she talked to them, it wasn't clicking. And she realized that she was stuck in a nurse mindset that was holding her back. So she took those calls, she did the market research, she wasn't listening for what she wanted to hear, but she was actually listening for the data, what they said that they wanted. And from there, she built the pillars of her offer and put together a $20,000 offer she sold easily because she showed them the results. And here she is popping in, hey, guess what? My first police department proposal. Okay, so police, she also had to expand beyond just firefighters. We got her in touch with police and other emergency services. So she's like, oh my gosh, I have to write up a proposal, but she ended up closing them for $20,000. So this is a chief in the home state, and they got on the Zoom, and they started actually talking about what this chief needed for their team. And so she sold them on the fact that they have a real problem. He opened up and shared with Renee that they had an incident with a 17-year-old drowning a few weeks ago, and they brought in a critical incident team. And that's great. That's the immediate crisis control. But Renee's whole offer is around the mindset for these people. And so Renee shared from her own experience, she was an EMT herself. So she's like, yeah, I've seen little kids drown, and I'm traumatized from that myself. Because now when I see little kids by a pool, I never dealt with that trauma. And if you don't deal with this for your team, right now she's able to talk about mindset. But the chief of the fire department or the police department here wasn't really understanding, why would I need to worry about my people burning out? They work hard. But here he said, you're completely right. I never thought about it like that. So before, Renee was just thinking, they can bill me for whatever they want. Maybe I just need to come in and do a few one-on-one sessions with a few people who have been traumatized by this recent death in the community. But once she got behind a big dream outcome, it absolutely changed her life and business. Because instead of just getting a few bucks for hourly, whatever they feel like, and then, okay, maybe this will lead to something, or maybe I'll hope that they introduce me to more people, now Renee is contracted for $20,000. And she actually gets to go in and conduct transformation, not just nurse Band-Aid, here's a quick little solution. Because remember, you're not selling coaching. You're selling a transformation. And this means you need to stop thinking like the nurse or coach and start thinking bigger about what you can actually help people achieve. So for Renee, she's now behind literally saving lives. She went from one-on-ones for your mental health to literally saving lives. And the bigger the problem you solve, this kind of issue that her community is having, means that the bigger paycheck you get, right? You get what you pay for. So stop editing yourself to please everyone, and let's build a system that delivers one irresistible result, the thing they actually want. Then shout it from the rooftops like the expert you are. Because honestly, once you get over that hard work of finding the big dream outcome, for me, it was guaranteeing 3 to 10 clients per month, which I thought I was allergic to. I just want to write copy and do the marketing piece. I can't also fix your nurture sequence and build an offer and help you with fulfillment. I didn't want to get into all of that. But I realized if I only do this one piece, I'm going to burn them out because they do need this full solution, right? Renee's like, I know what it's like if this doesn't get addressed. Like, we have to get to the root cause and give an entire solution. So there is hard work, and you're going to have to get over yourself. You're going to have to kill old versions of yourself. That coach identity has to go, because coaches just think about giving Band-Aids and one-on-ones and Zoom calls, whereas people who do this long-term and are industry leaders do get behind the big dream outcome or result that people want, but then everything else gets easier, okay? Then you are very clear on what your messaging is, and you're not trying to guess, how do I demonstrate that they can find more of their voice? Like, when your offer is intangible, it's very hard to figure out messaging or what to post or how to communicate this to people, especially on sales calls. So when you're finally able to communicate your real value is when everything else becomes easy. So for me, this meant simplifying all of my offer pages and these sexy websites and ClickFunnels things that I had made, and just start putting before versus after data into a Google Doc. Okay, it's amazing how this is the most basic my marketing has ever looked, and is when I'm making the most money. I invested so much in those sexy bells and whistles that never converted, and so now you guys know I just love Loom and Google Docs. And so my messaging is stupid simple. I just show you the results. I just show you what we're doing and how we actually get there with people like Allison. Okay, so now the third shift is, instead of proving yourself, let the system prove for you. So many talented coaches I work with are stuck in the prove myself mode, and I was there too, right? So this is when we're like trying to be influencers and we're posting content 24/7 to look good. And we're doing free discovery calls and networking and booking coffee chats and pitching ourselves on podcasts just so that we can yap in the industry and feel like we're on purpose. But again, that stuff never converts to clients, for me at least. The other thing that I was doing in this prove myself mode was offering those sliding scale prices. So, okay, if you thought this was going to be $500 per month, let's just do that. I'm going to take it because I need any of the money that I can get right now. So this is when I'm just saying yes to everything. And we know long term, if you say yes to the wrong things, you're going to burn out. You're going to be out of alignment in the end. So there's no judgment here, but I'm just giving you the roadmap and showing you what happened to me when I gave and I gave and I hosted more free webinars and I sent out more free value and I did more for clients just hoping they would stay another month. And that is when I burned out harder than a tea candle at a yoga retreat. The burnout of crying on the bathroom floor and not being able to afford groceries was when I was finally willing to kill my coach identity. And that's because I was thinking like a nurse who works shift to shift, who's stuck in survival mode and who has to do all of the heavy lifting themselves. That's where most coaches are stuck, and I was too. But specialists, CEOs, build systems that run in the background, like these evergreen videos, and messaging that is clear and tangible and does the selling for you, and a high ticket offer that speaks for itself. And these are the shifts that my business partner Ori and I went through to be able to get beyond the 6-figure trap or the just relying on referral trap and start getting ourselves set up for 7 figures. Because when you nail these things, this is when you start getting those 10,000 and beyond clients just from DMs. You saw the people messaging me, reaching out, ready to pay in full. Because your business finally has a backbone that proves your value without you proving yourself. It can be bigger than you. You don't have to have it all riding on your shoulders or your cuteness or your energy or your Zoom room availability. Listen to me. You're an expert with the stuff humanity really, really needs right now. Transformation, inner healing, peace, personal development. So why are you waiting for someone to validate your worth instead of just building an offer that speaks for itself? If you actually want to be a leader and a trailblazer and on the leading edge of the new paradigm, you cannot be someone who waits and relies on referrals. And you really don't need to. You're already accomplished. The people we work with have certifications and PhDs and books and TED Talks and so many things that prove you are an expert, you are accomplished. You just need people to know that you're not the best kept secret. So referral-only businesses are just trust falls in disguise. And you're way too talented to be waiting on someone else's follow-up, just blindly leading into maybe they'll follow up with me. Those trust fall exercises. That's basically what referrals are. And I never wanted to do those at summer camp. I don't know about you. So this is your permission slip to stop playing nurse and start owning your authority like a CEO, a specialist. And that's the one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that they are very different identities and ways of being. And if you're in the coach arena right now, like the nurse, and you're stuck in live delivery, one-on-one, in person, just coming up with different solutions for different people, you're going to stay on that hamster wheel and maybe get to 6 figures, but I doubt it will be sustainable until you start getting into the CEO mindset. and start showing up like a specialist. And you start thinking about building systems bigger than you, actually treating people's root cause, actually giving them the full surgery, the full solution. So for Hannah, as a coach, I was stuck just offering copywriting done for you, help you find your voice, fluff, feel good. And then to become a CEO, I had to start getting behind bold offers and guaranteeing 3 to 10 new clients every single month. And this is when we started seeing the cash injection and what got us to these 100K months. The mindset, the fulfillment, not just being one-on-ones, but also creating a vaccine, that system that I can administer one to many and have it work long-term for them. And now what we're working on is our institution, like this specialty clinic, where we have multiple scalable programs and advanced courses. So now we have Inner Circle. It's not just coming in and getting the client thing figured out, because then there's so many other things, if you want to keep this business growing to 7 figures, that I know I can teach now, that I am willing to give to other people. And so this has become my focus, really building this institution, focusing on comprehensive care and ongoing support. But this is like a metamorphosis. You have to go through these stages to really understand how you can show up as a CEO and then as the leader of an institution. So all of this is to just be very blunt with you, because I don't want you to suffer like I did and stay stuck in the coaching hamster wheel for almost a decade. So you don't have to go through those years of suffering because you don't know where your next paycheck is going to come from. And let's be honest, knowing where money is going to come from makes everything in life a lot easier. I don't believe people who tell me they're not motivated by money, because you need it. And I promise you, everything gets easier when you have money, and you get money by getting behind a big dream outcome. So you're not exhausted because you're not good at what you do. It's just that your business isn't built. So listen to me again, okay? You can make the shift and you can change from coach to a CEO at any time. You can ask me how. It was one decision. It took me 7 years to have enough pain to say, all right, I need something new. I need to quit consulting the broke version of me. For 7 years, I argued for my limitations, saying, I need to stay in alignment. This is what I feel good charging people for. But all of those years, I was consulting a broke version of myself. I was staying in alignment with the version of myself that kept running out of money and kept burning out and got adrenal fatigue and then got credit card debt and then had weight gain. I kept consulting that version of me for the sake of being in alignment. But I had to make a new decision to become a new version of myself and quit repeating all of those coach nurse patterns and decide to become a CEO. Stop being the nurse. Start being the specialist. And structure your business so everyone else knows it too. We talk to all of our clients about undeniable proof. And even when they come in and they've never had a testimonial or they've never had a paying client before, we look at their own life circumstances and history and help them build undeniable proof. Because if you're out here selling joy and alignment and hopium, it's very easy to deny. There's not good proof behind that. So all of this is now getting into the work that, again, I outline in the video linked below, so you can see how this whole system rolls out. But what I want you to get from this video is that once I personally let go of the need for people to like me or see my value or be my people or just get it and be easy, right? And I did the hard work of building an offer that actually helps them get what they're already looking for, and out there paying people who are way less experienced than me, who have crappy offers, who never actually hold their hand. I know my competitors do all of those things, but they're still getting paid because they're good at marketing, right? And so for me, I had to do the hard work of, yes, do the front end marketing and figure out how to fulfill and guarantee results. And for me, the thing that they wanted was real clients, not more shiny objects to put on their internet resume. And so this is when I became the sought after expert. I was not chasing them, they started chasing me. And this is how I get $12,000 clients with just DMs. No ads, no webinars, no funnels, just real human conversations. So I hope this plants some seeds for your next transformation, because once I made this shift, I have never gone back. So if you're curious about even more, go ahead, check out the links below, and please let me know in the comments what else you want to know about this shift from struggling to pay the bills to 7-figure CEO, because I want to help you win. Cheers to growth.